So how much money can you make as a mobile notary public on a daily basis? It's a good question, actually. It's a good question. I have a national, notary service, but we're headquartered in New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. And we have, a bunch of notaries that we partner with, that we work with, that's, might be out of our network, but we still delegate and, we do business. That's what we're here to do. As I'm headed to a client now, I'm not really going to get into how much I charge, because you charge whatever you feel is necessary for you, your lifestyle, your business, your overhead, your everything. You understand? So you got to charge what you feel is right. I can't set any standard by no means when it comes down to how much you should charge, how much you are charging, and what works best for you and your family at the end of the day, right? But you could make, on average, depending on your state and, follow the law and stuff like that. Because some states, even as a mobile notary public, it's but so much you can charge even to travel. It's so much you can charge even as a convenience fee, right? So, to be fair, no matter where you are in the country, you should be able to make $100 to $500 a day as a mobile notary public. As a mobile notary public that's traveling to somebody, like I'm doing right now as I'm doing this video. You should be able to make between $100 bare minimum to $500 on average a day. At least Monday through Friday as a traveling notary public. And for those that don't know, what does that mean? That means that you're a notary public that's traveling to your customer, like I'm doing now. I'm going to my client's house, right? I would say this, at least for my business and how I operate. I take payment up front. So I have my website where I take payment up front, then I head to them. I never, under no circumstances, go to a client without payment. It's just a waste of time. It doesn't make sense. I was in a situation recently where a client booked me for my service, paid my price, right? I don't really negotiate with that. My price is my price, and that's that. And I was paid, and I went there. He, by accident, booked two notaries. So I was there earlier, followed his rules. I was there on time, well, really early, follow his rules and everything like that. While the other notary that was not paid just was excited to get the job, went to his house while I was there, came late, and didn't follow the rule of do not ring the doorbell, for an example. So she wasted her time, got there, and didn't get paid, whatever. And once you book with me, on my website it says no refunds, because once you are on my calendar, another client can't book that time. So let's say you book, today for tomorrow at 5 p.m. and tomorrow you decide to say, no, I cancel. I'm actually getting booked at least 10 times a day at my price. So by you booking and taking away that slot, I can't get a client for 5 o'clock anymore. So whatever. So anyway, you should be making at least $100 bare minimum to around $500 a day as a mobile notary. So let's take the latter and say $500. That is Monday through Friday, at least $2,500 a week, times 4, $10,000 a month, times 12, $120,000. That's how that works. Again, everybody charges what they charge. I'm not going to get into that, right? I do offer mentorship. Link is in the description. For those that want to take their career to the next level, for those that want to, get clients, attract clients, not really rely on signing services and stuff like that, and really take full control of their career as a mobile notary, because it's slept on. Even me, when I first heard about being a notary, I was like, no, I'm not doing that. You only make $2 or $3. And then when I kind of look more into it, I'm like, oh, I could get involved with this. And plus, it's a void in the market because there are not that many notaries or entrepreneurs that offer service, but specifically notary publics that are full-time. So when you are, looking for notaries in my service areas, right, where we're headquartered at, we're one of the top to pop up. And even if we're not the top to pop up, we're going to be the first to answer the phone and give you a price whether you like it or not. All right? So you should be making, as a mobile notary public, $100 a day at bare minimum. Even $100 a day, at least Monday through Friday. That's at least $500 a week and $2,000 a month, and that's still $8,000 a month, I believe, right? Because it's 500 times. No, I'm sorry, excuse me, bad math. That is $500 a week, $2,000 a month. Good side hustle. A lot of people get in their own way when it comes down to pricing. They feel like it shouldn't be too high, but just understand this, right? High and low is relative to you. It's very subjective. What's cheap to you is expensive to somebody else, and vice versa. So you have to look at the market, your market, for where you're at, and make it make sense, and just look at the reality of things, right? Don't price yourself out to where you're not making any money, but also make it make sense, right? Like, know what areas you're willing to service, stuff like that, and just fill the void in the market. That's how that works. So for those that were wondering, you can make about $100 to $500 a day as a mobile notary public. You gotta also keep in mind your gas, your time, how much gas costs, your lifestyle, just to operate the business. How much does that cost? How much does it cost you to get to a client, right? So let's say this client could be 20 miles away. For me, 20 miles away is like 20, 30 minutes, something like that. If you're in the suburbs, like 20 miles, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. If you're in the city, 20 miles could be like an hour and a half. So it depends. So between like gas, time, the opportunity cost, that's how I look at it. But for me, I will also say this. I charge, for what I charge, how I charge, depending on how long certain documents take to notarize, how many people, on average, I charge a flat fee for whatever I choose to charge. But, so regardless if I'm 5 minutes away or an hour away, it's kind of the same thing relatively for me on the net end, because, you never want to get into play where, at least for me, I don't never want to get into play where, a customer, every customer that comes in, it's like a different price based on how far they are. No, it's the same price for every category it is, right? So if you need like a real estate closing or estate planning, it's really the same price no matter how far you are. Now I do have certain things that I do differently. Again, I offer mentorship when it comes down to branding, pricing, how to get into your market, how to, introduce your product, how to get those clients. And it's not hard, to be honest, really not hard. I'm an entrepreneur before I'm a notary. That's a fact. If I was not an entrepreneur, if I didn't have other businesses that are, running, if I didn't have any other sources of income, means of income, I probably wouldn't be a notary, to be honest. But it's something that I can do, I can afford to do it, and I can make the money because I have the money to invest, right? You have to invest your money, your time, etc. This is a business at the end of the day, so that's just how that works. It is what it is. You have to, charge for your time, and you got to make money. You kind of can't be doing favors out there, because if you're out there being a mobile notary and you're like breaking even and you're not really making any money, then you're wasting your time. Go find something else to do. And if you're a notary, depending on other notaries that give you business or signing services, if I were you, I would take it as it comes. Obviously, it got to make sense financially, but if somebody's giving you free work, like free things to do, just take that into consideration. And just build as you grow. Start making some money, put some money in your pocket, and stuff like that. But again, for those that are interested in being a mobile notary or notary public, a traveling notary, however you want to spill it, however you want to come across, you can make at bare minimum $100 a day. At least you should be making at least $100 a day to, averaging about $500 a day. And if you want to learn how to do that, link is in the description for my mentorship. Mentorship comes with 2 hours. You get 2 arms, 2 legs, or 2 portions, right? One portion is branding, how to get clients, how to get in front of the consumers directly. The other arm is an hour of just notary work, being comfortable being a notary, understanding, what to do, especially for where you at as well, right? So we have two sessions. One is going to be about business and branding, which is really important, and the other is going to be about how to be a notary and how to feel comfortable like notarizing anything and what you can and can't do, and just follow the law so you don't lose your commission. All right, so it's 2 hours. Then you're also going to be in our private group on WhatsApp as well, which will be like a continuation of customer support. So you'll have any questions or whatever, you could jump in the group chat and say, hey, I'm at this closing, I'm at this signing, I'm with a client and they're asking this question, and we're live right there on the spot, because this is what we do every single day. So if you're looking for mentorship and you want to level up to the next, to the next level, then, give us a shot and grow with us, period. And like I said, as of right now, I'm going to a client as we speak. So really take it to the next level and really treat it like a business, right? Again, this is a business. So I'm a master at business. I'm a master at branding. So that's what my expertise lie, right? As an entrepreneur, right? Know how to bring things to the market, and also an expert at being a notary. And I have my team, shout out to Edith as well. She's going to be the one helping you guys on how to be, a superb notary in these streets. All right, so she's going to help you guys be comfortable in what to do and how to do it. And even if during this 2-hour session that's broken up into 2 pieces, an hour at a time via Zoom, you can always rebook another session, or just jump in a group chat and ask questions and get that ongoing customer support. And that's free. That's part of the package and stuff like that. But again, that's what we do. We get money in these streets. We're not scared to charge because we're available, right? We're available. We're going to come to you. And even if it's not in our network, which is like New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, we always delegate as well. That's why we are like a national signing service. So we delegate. So whether you're in Texas, whether you're in Florida, whether you're in California, and we have a client that needs to be there, you want to join that, same thing as well. You got to pay to be a part of the group. Sorry. Our clients are real people, real consumers, and we got to make sure that you know what you're doing. And it's notary, bro. It's super easy. It's super simple. Watch the content, love the content, repost. No shade, no hate. We actually get money out here. We don't need signing services, but I do rock with the signing services. My clients just pay me more. I'm just saying. But y'all already know the vibe. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. I see you at the top. 1.